Hello, everyone. So my name is Felicia Bocanegra, and for the final project for this class, I will be talking about South Korean fashion. Um, so as for the definition and why I chose this topic, I chose to analyze modern South Korean fashion, as I said before. And I chose this topic as it is a growing trend that has influenced and reached many parts of the Western world, specifically streetwear. So I chose this topic mainly because it was something that was pretty interesting to me, and the fact that it is a growing topic, as it's something that we do every day. We wear what we want to wear, and many times we don't know what we're influenced from. But as you can see right here, there's some pictures that y'all could see, and I'm gonna talk about mainly one topic, but here it is. So as for knowledge, many new fashion trends are heavily influenced by what is called neutral or new retro styles. So this is basically where 70s and 80s looks are modernized to create these types of looks. And so I found this topic to be pretty interesting about the whole neutral, like the fact that it has an actual word. Um, but basically it's just where we're kind of recycling the decades fashion. But it's pretty interesting because it's like you can tell that it is modernized. So right here I included a few pictures of like modern streetwear and like modern looks in South Korea. And so what I also pointed out was that it's mainly through films and through the music industry that we can see this like highlighted at a like certain extent. So films such as Minari and BTS, videos such as Dynamite showcase these fashion trends. So it's basically where you could see that it is inspired by the 70s or 80s, but it's put into a look that's way more modern. Okay, so as for cultural analysis, I found very few differences, but I tried my best. But for similarities, something that I guess not similarities, but connections more so. So many fashion trends came from secondhand clothes from the US inspired looks later on. So basically, many times it was like our clothes that inspired their clothes, if that makes sense. And so it was like through secondhand clothes or through looks that they saw from the United States that inspired South Korean fashion. So for Hollywood film and music, um, basically Hollywood film and music inspired their fashion, as well as American military in South Korea. The presence of American anything will really like everything kind of melts together, and that's what inspired their fashion today, which I found pretty interesting. And for the differences, the only one I could really point out was sales. I can't say it right. Sales Fashion Week, where the modern world is able to see South Korean fashion at large. So the only reason why I wrote this as a difference is because we kind of see more fashion trends other than neutral, where obviously not everyone wears the same style, but I guess like the differences are that we see styles that we don't see so much in the United States, and maybe we do, but not so much. So that's why I included this picture. This is more like urban streetwear, I guess you could say, but it was something that was pretty interesting. I guess you could point out the difference. For the reflection, South Korean fashion heavily influences modern Western fashion through social media and the rapid growth of Korean film and music. So the main reason why I wrote this is because obviously through social media we see connections and we see more exposure to whatever country we're looking at, and the fact that Korean pop culture has grown so quickly and like it has inspired so many people through film or through music or through makeup, whatever it may be. Like we are inspired in one way or another. So examples clearly seen through hit Korean shows and movies such as Squid Game, Parasite, Minari, Alice in Borderland, and etc. These examples are mainly just to signify the film industry and how through films, obviously, we kind of point out what we do like, what we might wear, what we might not want to wear. Um, and then right here, the BTS picture covered them or covered the groups that I'm talking about. But right here, it says K-pop groups such as BTS, and I listed a few others, also expose what we see and what we are inspired by fashion wise. As for discussion questions, what is your opinion on neutral fashion? and the modern twist on the 70s and 80s clothes. Number two, do you think you would like to follow or wear modern South Korean fashion? Why or why not? And yeah, that's basically the end. Those were just a few questions that I found pretty interesting that I would like to answer as well. But yes. And then these are my references. And yeah, that is all. Thank y'all for y'all's time. And yes.